getting the right people at the table, and I think we have some very competent people in this community that can be a part of that, and I hope to be one of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Robert Wallace.
Well, I'll reiterate what everybody has acknowledged. We are obviously a very safe community. We feel it, and that's what we love. Our nerves are at peace. I think it's also important, though, to keep an eye on the big picture, because, as Gail was mentioning, we do have a border crisis. And just because it's peaceful right now, if we don't anticipate a rise in unexpected activity that's unprecedented, then we may be caught with our pants down. And so there are some considerations around the sheriff's office, whether or not they are solely working in our interest, whether perhaps certain ordinances are enforced to the standards of the town, or whether they're enforced to the standards of Phoenix in general. And so an auxiliary police department or posse, for instance, that is dedicated to our area, just for us, I feel is the smartest way to go in order to ensure that we prioritize our citizens and the way that we're taking care of the community in light of future changes. Because I don't think we can rest assured that it's always going to be this peaceful as much as I wish it was. Not the fearmonger, but I think we all know that the world's changing, so.
Thank you. Moving on to question number 3. The Community Economic Development Strategy calls for the town to explore opportunities for redevelopment and revitalization to attract new residents, visitors, and businesses in several key areas in town. The downtown area, spanning from Avenue of the Fountains to Palisades and from La Montana to Saguaro, has many undeveloped lots and vacant storefronts. This presents a unique opportunity for smart growth that will stimulate the local economy. How will you work with the town's Economic Development Department and the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce to revitalize the downtown corridor and create a thriving business district? First, Gail Burrow.
Well, first of all, that plot 208 is an issue because nothing can be changed without 100% approval from every single member of that business, basically HOA. So hopefully we can come up with some decision that would make it worthwhile to them to all agree to do something better for our town. I did go to the program where the open house, where we got to look at different things that they mentioned doing downtown. I did like them putting in wider sidewalks and working on the Park View Road to make it beautiful as Fountain Hills, Avenue of the Fountains is. I really love being down there now in the multi-use apartments and eating downstairs and on the bottom. That's very nice, but I'd like them to move over one street and make some changes there too, putting in sidewalks as well. And I think it would be nice if we could get an ordinance or maybe work on the ordinance that have people clean up the empty lots in the meantime so they look better right now. And thank you.
Thank you. Next, Matthew Corrigan.
Thank you. I think it's a good question about what can we do to develop business. And there are a lot of empty lots downtown. How do we handle it? Gail mentioned parcel 208. It's kind of a unique situation with 100 owners. There is one thing that would and can drive those open lots to be more appropriately used. One of them would be an economic stimulus. I would encourage the town to have a more focused approach on reaching out, contacting key economic decision makers, whether it's a satellite university or maybe a planetarium astronomy research institute. We've got the planned, that vision is already there, and that's hopefully coming. We have other opportunities too. We have light industry can come in. Right now we have a watchmaker who had to, unfortunately, completely restore one of our unused vacant school buildings so they can have a clean lab to make watches. One of the only watchmakers in the country here in Fountain Hills. Now they've got to move because of a problem that really, that's another issue. But I will tell you something. Downtown development can be tackled very, very easily by maintaining and not restricting those small businesses. Having been a small businessman myself, I don't think we need restrictions on so much permitting and signs. I think we need to go back to that and address the issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Robert Wallace.
Well, I feel like, for the most part, a lot of us have to, for various things, leave Fountain Hills in order to meet our needs. So maybe you travel outside of town for various restaurants often. This town could be more self-inclusive of a lot of services that we go outside for. And so restaurants, and there's various retailers that should be incorporated into our town, so we don't have to go out for certain specialty items. I think if we have these sort of specialty things, like maybe a craft store, maybe things that will serve families, the kind of people that we want here, so they don't have to leave town, so that they see that we're taking care of everything they want if they want to move here, as opposed to having to leave. High-end retailers, specialty products that are unique, maybe that wouldn't fit in any other circumstance, any other environment. This is a beautiful place where they would fit and look amazing. And people would appreciate that, would come for that. So I think the big thing is making sure that we have the things that we need, like food, specialty services.
Thank you. Next is Rick Watts.
I think there's a variety of things that we can do, and I think they should be done in conjunction with the chamber. I think that collectively we can develop a plan, maybe a business model, a business plan for the Plat 208 section. Maybe we can buy that, maybe the town can somehow require it and develop it. There is no incentive for those owners right now, so we're going to find an incentive. How do we have a conversation with CEOs of corporations again to talk about what we'll produce for the town, how we can produce more jobs, how we can find more opportunity for them to move here, more incentives for them to move here. How about a punch card type of a situation where the residents, very much like Desert Canyon has a punch card for residents for golf. Not that I know about golf, but they have a punch card, you get a discount. Why can't we do the same thing with the residents for the restaurants in the town, the people on the avenue, and say there's a 10% discount? That 10% discount will certainly get people to come to your restaurant at least one time, and it will entice other people to come and join you as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to innovate, and I think innovation is a business acumen component. You have to think about outside the box, how we can get something done, not why we can't get something done. And I think that's where my background will come in.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember McMahon.
Thank you. There's been a lot of talk about downtown, and there's been a lot being done about that. Recently, you were just invited to participate in a town event where you could contribute to our new plan for downtown, our strategic plan. So you have provided valuable input, and we're waiting to see whether that happens, so there'll be more connectivity, more economic vitality, possibly more stores, more places for you to relax, etc. In addition, I know the Chamber and our economic director and business groups are working together to address the Prop 208, vacant land, etc., to invite new businesses in there to utilize them and improve them. But for right now, I want to let you know that downtown is growing. Have you walked downtown Avenue lately? Have you seen the great, new electric boxes that are painted? Park Place, the commercial stores are almost full. There's only maybe 4 left, and they have strong people that are